American Stadium in Fullerton, California. It's round 3 of the 2018 America's Rugby Championship with the United States squaring off against Chile. Hello and welcome to our viewers for the 3rd consecutive home match of the USA Eagles, who've enjoyed an outstanding start to this year's competition. I'm Dan Stanford, joining commentary by US Rugby legend Brian Visit.
The America's Rugby Championship was created in 2016. Each team plays 5 matches in the ARC. The competition is comprised of the Argentina 15, Chile, Uruguay, Brazil, the US, and Canada, and gives some much-needed matches for these teams and gives those up-and-coming players more opportunities to show their coaches what they got. With victories over the Argentina 15 and Canada, the defending ARC champions, the United States, sits atop the standings along with Uruguay. Chile is still looking for their first win of the tournament as they lost to Brazil 16-14 in their opener, and last week got beat soundly by the Argentina 15, 57-12.
Yeah, Chile has grown tremendously over the past few seasons in the game of rugby, but 2 heavy losses against the US. We can take a look at those. First was in 2016 in Florida, and then Santiago last year. Great support from Lorenzo Thomas. Excellent offload. In off on the outside. Champagne rugby. The Eagles will score their 3rd try. Now the hot stepper, Luke Hume. Puts the kick through. Well read from Chad London.
Forwards, the bigger ones in particular, get a little overwhelmed in space. Like a 13-year-old meeting Justin Bieber for the first time. Oh, Tony Lambourne. Well, he's bigger than Bieber now. Augsburger dances, there's some space there. Flick it inside for Malcolm. Oh, Peter Malcolm's going to get a double. No one's going to catch the hooker. He's covered more yards than Christopher Columbus here this afternoon, the hooker, and he gets his 2nd try.
And we're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll have all the action from Southern California as the United States host Chile.
And now, today's starting 15 for your USA Eagles. Captain number 9, scrum half, Nate Augsburger. Number 1 prop, Hulu Mangaloa. Number 2 hooker, James Hildebrand. Number 3 prop, Peter Waldron. Number 4 lock, Nate Brinkley. Number 5 lock, Ben Landry. Number 6 flanker, earning his 1st cap, Sam Luchig. Number 7 flanker, Tony Lambourne. Number 8, Cam Dolan. Number 10 fly half, Will Maggie. Number 11 wing, Ryan Mattias. Number 12 inside center, Bryce Campbell. Number 13 outside center, Dylan Altley. Number 14 wing, Josh Whitby.
We're 30 miles away from Los Angeles on the campus of California State University Fullerton for this America's Rugby Championship fixture, which sees that team there, number 17 in the world, the United States, taking on 26 Chile. Wayne Scully returns to the United Kingdom, which means scrum off Nate Augsburger captains today's team. It's been a solid few months for the side living on the West Coast with warmer conditions, and that's the Chile team led out by Javier Richard, earning his 21st cap today. A very serious-looking side for what is a very important fixture as well. Match number 3 in the ARC competition. Brian Visit.
Oh, it certainly is a big one for both these sides. Obviously, Chile wants to get first victory on the board. The United States want to continue to be one of those top teams in the league. They're in the competition right now, tied with Uruguay. They're looking for a strong performance. There's going to be some new players we're going to be talking about. So everybody's trying to raise their hand for consideration for that 2019 Rugby World Cup next year.
And this Chile side, 2015, they made history by winning the South American Rugby Championship for the first time. And they mean business. They are getting ready for the national anthems. Both these two sides first met in 2002. And they renewed their friendship in the last couple of years. Battle number 3 lining up here in the California sunshine. And we're going to go field side for the national anthems in just a few moments. young fans that come out to support the US Eagles. Another great home fixture to see their idols in action. Plenty of stars in that team as well. You saw Mikey Teo take the field. He'll be looking for that try line today as this Chile side round up the shoulders and get ready.
There is not.
At this time, we ask you to please rise for the national anthem of Chile.
At this time, we ask you to
please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America.
Both teams gearing up for action here. The United States, fresh from that Can-Am Trophy victory against Canada last week, are ready to go here. Take a look at the Chile lineup. Mark Cross has made 5 changes from the team that faced Argentina 15 last weekend. Busic comes in at lock, while Idura wears the number 3 jersey. In the backs, 3 players with only 4 caps amongst them start today. It's Barono at fly half, Lavenderos at centre, and Radowitz on the wing. Meanwhile, the United States also some changes for their team.
There certainly are 5 more for the Eagles starting lineup from last week. Hulaholo Mangaloa and James Hildebrand wear the 1 and 2 jerseys respectively. Ben Landry gets rewarded for his solid play off the bench the last couple of games. Big day for Sam Woolchin as he makes his debut. He's wearing the 6 jumper. It's an unchanged backline with the exception of wing Josh Whippy, who makes his first start for the Eagles after debuting off the bench last week.
Referee Chris.
Yeah, I'll move. Just waiting for the okay.
Well, we're set for round 3 of the America's Rugby Championship here in Fullerton, California. It's the United States to kick off in white. On the right of your screen, receiving this Chile in red. Assistant referees Nick Racono, Steve Gore. Beautiful conditions as McGee gets us started in round 3. Chile take this cleanly at the top. It's Mario Mayol who has it. Early Bocci charged on by Cam Dolan. Dolan collects us and then loses it. That could have been one of the fastest tries in World Rugby. Not to be, though.
How many times have we seen Cam Dolan make big plays right off the opening kickoff? Beautiful charge down. The bounce came right up to him. Just took his eyes off the ball slightly. Lost that ball going forward. But what a dream start for Cam Dolan and the Eagles. There's the big man. Just can't bring it into his hands. Oh, so close.
Cam Dolan 6'6" in height. 32nd cap today. One of the most experienced forwards for the United States. Meanwhile, it's Chile. They're 234 caps in their starting team. Vastly more experienced than the 174 caps from the United States. First scrum of the game.
Ball available. Use.
Ball's available for the Chile side. They drift across the left to their captain, Richard. He goes backwards, though. Lambon with an early tackle. Thoughts of the box kick again from Beltran Vergara. Just needs a bit more space to operate as they get their forwards a couple of early touches. This time, kick is successful just around the 22-minute mark.
And Dallin, talking to the U.S. coaches earlier this week, they want a better start than they had last time. Their first half against Canada, very disappointed. Gary Gold said, especially the importance of that Canada rivalry. So they want to really come out, be aggressive at the opening kickoff here, which they did, which we saw, and they want to continue in these first 40.
Fresh start here for James Hildebrand. Goes to the back. Landry has it nicely. The rolling maul. Heading towards the uprights. Good strong carry again. This time it's Wuching. Eagle number 519. Making his debut in the 6th jumper. Former football standout from the Washington Huskies. Ball still inside the 22 for the US. And now it rolls around to Mangaloa. Life West Gladiator player. McGee, quick hands, Mattias, a wayward pass and then kicked through by Chile. They're chasing here. McGee's going back with Mikey Teo. Well handled there by the Eagle fly half. Chilean defenders all around him. They're inside their half for the first time in this game. Clever kick through there by Chile. There's Hildebrand, who started this action. Takes it over to 10. Still there for Augsburger. They get a full-on penalty.
First infringement.
Let's go sideline to Dan Power.
You are under 220 pounds, that is. It's going to be tough going for the big man 1 through 8. Sweltering conditions here in Southern California this weekend. It is a very fast track, typically a soccer field here at Cal State Fullerton. Look for the outside backs to really, really spread their wings when given the opportunity. I'm expecting a massive game from Ryan Mattias out here on the left wing for the USA, so keep an eye on him in the 11 jersey.
Well, thank you, Dan. The speedster out wide towards the touchline. Got a double last week. And looking very sharp indeed. Excellent line up there. Comes down from Dolan. And now midfield. Bryce Campbell takes it to the line. Gary Gold very impressed with the inside census play. Mikey Teo busts through one. Gets the offer. There's Mattias into action. Beats one. Flicks it over the top. What a miracle pass. Nate Augsburger. That's one of the coolest tries he'll score as a captain. It's the United States that have the first 5.
You nail it right on the head. What about that little lob pass back inside from Ryan Mattias? We saw the explosiveness right there, but Mikey Teo, credit to him. He's the one who started that play. Cut through a couple of Chilean defenders, had his hands free from Mattias on the outside. Mattias' speed outdistances that defense. Then the wherewithal to throw that pass back inside of the supporting skipper. Great start for the United States. Just exactly what they talked about last night in their pre-match huddle.
Well, Augsburger has only got 4 tries. This is a look at it. Brilliant work by Mattias with the defend and that vision to throw it back inside. But the ever-supporting Augsburger is there. He has been phenomenal, just ranging up with that inside channel. Untouched, gets his 4th try for the USA.
Yeah, good pressure early on, and what a lovely pass back to Nate Augsburger. But just how Gary Gold dreamed this start. They wanted to really put the pressure on this Chilean team. It was a wayward pass early on that put them back inside their own half. But what a comeback. And again, Mike Taylor, you can't say enough about what he does at that fullback position. Creates all sorts of holes in these defending units.
So the conversion is to the side. 4 minutes from when the try was scored. Early strike here from the United States.
Yeah,
just what you expect from a team that has put on 50 in the last 2 times these sides have played.
Yeah, Dan Power is looking for Ryan Mattias to score 3. I think he said, hang on to that ball, son. You can score. But good start by this U.S. squad.
Many more opportunities to come for both these sides. So the Los Condores kick off, and Ben Landry start in the lock position. 10th cap tonight takes that. Augsburger gets his box kick. That's a good huge amount of distance, but is one back. Whoopi with his first touch in this game. And turned over though to Chile as they look to attack on the outside channels. Cutting back in nicely there is Radats over the halfway line. He's one of their speed merchants. Dummy thrown back on the inside. Richard taking ball in hand. First penalty here for Chile around the halfway mark.
Tony Lamborn got called just being a little bit lazy. They're not getting away from that breakdown area. This will give the Chileans, with a little bit of breeze at their back, an opportunity to put the pressure on this U.S. squad. Let's take a look at number 7. Yeah, got to roll away from that breakdown. Easy call for referee Chris Asmus. And now Chile with the line out just outside the 22. Try and give the United States a little bit of that their own medicine, putting the pressure on them in these early goings.
Yeah, perfect.
Dusalant as his line out stolen by Atul Timber in Dolan, and now Mattias. Space opens up for Ryan Mattias. Man from Arizona though gets the ball ripped from him. Tries to hold on, and they do get it back to the United States. McGee puts it to the boot. This kick falls nicely for Chile.
Forward Whites.
Up and under, and then running into a brick wall, but they're chasing through. Beautiful catch there. Radats into it again. Man turns 22 in a couple of weeks, is having a sparkling start. Mario Mayol around that far side. Bit of a nothing kick through though. Whoopi collects this for the US. Space starts to open up. He gets Mike Teo with him. And he grew up in Long Beach, California, did Teo, not far from here.
Use now.
Lamborn finds Dylan Audsley. First touch for the outside centre. Augsburger.
Leave it, Chile!
Gets dragged by a couple of
hands
forwards.
Off now. Good contest.
Asmus says hands off right now.
Clear it.
Slow ball for the US Eagles. Up by that early try. Teo into ruck.
Loss.
Chile.
On the body,
Trying
not
to
the
pinch
ball.
this one here.
On the body.
Finally it comes up.
Use now.
For Nat Augsburger. This kick goes a bit further. His box kick. Now chasers coming down. Dolan's one of them. Well handled by Chile on that far side. Sanino.
Back.
Bit of speed onto this. To Salat.
Nothing in it. No contact.
Hard-working front row player. They got some distance
Mummy
here,
had
Chile.
water,
They've done well out wide. Skipping a tackle. Great running there. And Mattias comes in with a tackle on Radats to the halfway line. Chile in open play. Hildebrand with a cold shoulder. Nikola Bursic, the man plays with the Nola Gold side. Shooting on the line there was Dolan. Still available for Chile. They get back over the halfway line. Alfonso Escobar.
On the body, not the ball.
US is holding strong on defense, forcing Chile
Still the ruck.
to exploit the wide channels. Another big contact there on the captain, Javier Richard. Made his debut against Spain in 2015 as they try to turn it back on the inside.
Rough time, Whites! Leave it!
Another penalty to Chile.
Off feet.
Yeah, much better passage of play that time by Chile. Off the feet was the call against the United States, but that was because of that pressure that Chile applied. Good ball retention, good forwards interchange with the backline movement. Get another look at it. Here you see Nate Brakely going over the top. He was okay, I think, but there was a U.S. player beyond that. And now Chile still not inside that 22-meter line, but down, putting a little bit more pressure on this U.S. squad.
Well, they certainly are. They've only scored 9 points against the Eagles in the last 2 fixtures, but they're playing a very good brand of rugby, going wide and trying to shore up some of the forwards early on. Lineup was stolen last time. Desalant goes to the front this time. Secure ball.
No problem.
Gives his backs an opportunity to get first phase.
Back here.
Tackle! Ball still there. They go to the left-hand side. Janicevski was the one looping around. One of their best backline players. And then strong contact on the big Lustra. 21-year-old driven backwards. You won't see that very often. Brakely gets involved again, but Chile into the 22 for the first time in the game. Good width on the attack. Gulafente.
Rough time! Leave it 8!
Still they work the same side. Quick hands and well carried. Good pass there from Soto, forcing his players forward. And again, it's Richard.
Rough time.
Chile will need some decoys here to get through. Strong defense.
Tackle!
Hula Mongolo is the one that brings him down. To the far side. Landry gets low. Captain Richard looks for that offload, couldn't get it. Desalant was supporting nicely. Turn it back on the inside. Big tackle coming in on Janicevski. New holes starting to appear here in the US defensive area around the breakdown. Drifting wide now.
13!
Dura made his debut last week in Ushuaia against the Argentina 15. Oh, another thunderous tackle against by the United States, and Chile have lost 10 meters off of that line out. They still have ball though. Mayor taken to the deck. Janicevski, gap opens up for the flyer. Beautiful inside pass. Still going strong. Sunino. Italio Sunino, well inside the 22. Stepping around. De La Fuente tries to throw the one-handed offload. Ball is still there. Tomas Janicevski is their most dangerous player for sure. And Waldron steals this one for the USA. Loose ball, and the US. Sam Wu-Ching.
Tackle.
Goes on that far side.
Use it. Use now.
Chilean defenders have backed up nicely, so McGee goes for the touch line. Strong defense in the end.
Yeah, some really good defense by the U.S., but again, good ball retention by Chile. Probing those spaces in the United States defense, trying to create those gaps, and then it was Janicevski that did well to get that little bit of gap. And what a pickup by Dino Waldron on that steal. One-handed, hit a defender on one arm and ball in the other. So good steal by the young prop out of St. Mary's.
Crowd chanting USA. It's been all Chile the last few moments. And again, straight into the attack they go. Big contact, but they pirouette out of it, does Sunino.
Push back.
And who plays with the Craighouse All Boys.
Number 8, never
Chile get
onside.
their third penalty in this game.
And you like the way, if you're a Chilean fan, the way they're playing. There's a couple of Eagle players slow getting back. Cam Dolan was the one who got called offside. Will McGee a little slow. Looks like he got a little bit of facial injury.
Time off.
Referee says play
Just
on.
hold the
What's
ball.
Chile going to do here? Are they going to go for poles, trying to get on the board? They got a little bit of breeze behind them. Yes, they do indicate it.
Where's their
I
mark?
think
Just so
now
we
the
get that
United
right.
States just have to tighten things up a little bit. When they do have ball in hand, they're
captains,
kind of
please.
throwing those 50-50 passes.
just
They
hold the
lost
ball.
a couple of them. They just got to, I think, just concentrate on the hard stuff. And Gary Gold made mention of that last time against Canada. There was a couple plays in that first half
100%. But
where they
I'll
gave
tell you
away
what I've
those
seen. If
50-50
I saw a stray
passes.
arm, it's going to catch a player up here. Nothing really in it. But what we don't need is number 12 shoving him while he's checking his contact lens. So I have over number 12. And we absolutely don't need number 7 coming in from 50 meters away. Can we deal with that, please? Thank you.
Referee Chris Asmus, we saw him as well in the match against the Argentina 15 a couple of weeks ago at the StubHub Center.
Number
Took
8,
charge of that
never
flash.
onside.
Just laying down the law there. Both sides have conceded a few cards in this tournament. In fact, Chile handed out 3 last weekend.
Well, Cam Dolan's getting to be a good buddy of Dan Power down on that sideline. 2 games in a row, he's seen yellow. He even mentioned that last night when I chatted with Cam. He said, yeah, Dan's a pretty funny guy down there. We're getting along pretty well. But I'm sure he doesn't want to keep that conversation going, at least in the bid.
He certainly doesn't. First attempt at points here for Chile. Population of Chile, 17 million. California's population, double that. This nation has really stepped it up in the 7-a-side game and, of course, in 15s as well. This competition proving extremely valuable for the South Americans. First attempt from far out. It will drop short underneath the sticks, and so the score will still remain 5-0 after 15 minutes in favor of the United States.
Yeah, kick never got up in the air, never took advantage of that wind behind them. Falls right under the goalpost, 5-0 now for the Eagles. They got to do what they did against Canada, just keep putting that pressure on them inside the 22, and those mistakes are going to happen with this Chilean team. We saw it last couple of years with some big scores by the U.S.
So, Will McGee.
Let's go, please.
Made his debut last year against Uruguay. Goes deep. Comes down to Janiszewski. Up and under kick. Their chasers there with them. Richards one of them. Janiszewski takes it himself. Great catch from the fullback. The only Chilean player named in the Team of the Week from America's Rugby News after round 2.
Leave it now,
A stunning performance. A couple of try-saving tackles last week and a score as well. Oh, that dummy has gone forward. So advantage here for the US. Wuching has it. Quick hands and no advantage coming.
Yeah, those are those loose passes we're talking about. Sometimes when they work, they look fantastic. But that's 2 or 3 they've lost right now. So I say just set that ruck, drive over, and get our attack, get the U.S. attack back going towards this Chilean end. They're still going to get the put in, though, I think, for that first knock. Yes, they are.
Yeah, I just said the same thing. Yeah. Clean out, but...
Good look at scrum time here for the US. Did extremely well in the last couple of games. Set piece. Gary Gold must be happy about the work there, and of course, Ford's coach Sean Pittman working on the set pieces there. Attacking platform for McGee as he takes it to the line. Turns it into Campbell. Not held, still wriggles free. Bryce Campbell. Wuching. Tremendous speed. Gets well over the advantage line, does the flanker. Ball over the top. Dolan was a bit in the way there. So Chile kicked this to Mikey Teo. Ball is still in field. So it's Audsley with a chance to counter-attack. Barrels into a couple of would-be defenders. And there's space to the right-hand side for the US if they can move this. McGee sets it away. Dummy there by Campbell. Flick to Whoopi. Managed to scoop that up as a talented Utah player. Now Hilterbrand. Making some good meters, full-on penalty.
You're affecting the clean out.
Yeah, good hands by the United States in that back line. There was a couple of low passes, a couple of quick passes. They did well to retain possession. Hilterbrand with another storming run. Picked up a couple of tough meters. Looks like he's going to get some attention, too. I think there might be a little blood. Here's a look at Hilterbrand. Yeah, good strong run, stayed on his feet. He came on off the bench against Argentina in that first game, had a couple of big driving mauls off the back of some good work by the U.S. forwards.
Number 8, rolling away.
And this is an area of play where the United States have certainly excelled. Nick Savetta, who's not here today, unavailable for this match because of a death in the family. Our thoughts are with him, but Gary Gold has really said that Nick has really stepped up leaps and bounds in this tournament, and his line-out calling has been superb.
He really has been outstanding. He's one of the 5 USA players in the team of the week after round 2. Such a hard-working blood forward and a great personality as well as the Eagles drive ahead. More inside the 22. Available there for Augsburger at the back. They want to pick and drive, so send some big heavies in there. Lamborn helping out as well. Wuching working around the fringes now. Wuching grew up in Hawaii. His father is from Samoa. Very proud rugby nation as Campbell picks this one up with a couple of defenders on him.
Penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage for the US. Augsburger goes to the right-hand side, finds Dolan. Trying to suck in defenders to great space out wide. Short ball. Good hands there from Wuching. Again, he's involved. McGee on the right-hand side. Gets the fend. There's Lamborn. They go high on the number 7. It's another advantage here. Breakley goes low.
Leave it now.
Mangalore can't fight his way through, but does suck in some more defenders. Behind the back ball they go. Whoopi turns it on the inside. Covering from the right hand. Touch line still available. McGee throws a dummy. McGee
Leave it, Chile.
just short. Breakley flicks it to Audley for the corner. Dylan Audley has scored his first try in international rugby. And on his second appearance, the young centre has inked his name in the books. 10-0 USA over Chile after 20 minutes.
Now that's the sustained pressure that Gary Gold wanted to see from his U.S. team. There's a couple of full-arm advantages played by Chris Aston, the referee.
Speak to them.
But what a good finish it was by Audley. That ball looked like it was going to squirt free. I think it might have been Ben Landry that got a little bit paw on that ball. Let's see. I'm not sure who that was that got that ball back. It might have been Nate Breakley, I think his second row partner, that got that ball up to Dylan Audley. And Audley just saw that little seam like Augsburger saw last week against Canada. Just that little short side wide open. One man to beat, and Dylan Audley did the rest. Good try by the U.S. Good pressure. That's what Gary Gold wants to see. Get it down deep inside that 22. Keep that pressure on. Here's another look at it from a little bit out. There's that pass out by Nate Breakley. And Audley surveyed the situation. Just saw one man over there in the red jersey and knew he could back himself. Good try.
Yeah, the 2016 Collegiate Player of the Year. Man from St. Mary's touches us down. The second try for the USA. More difficult angle here for Will McGee. First attempt was to the left-hand side. This time he pushes it to the right. So 10-0 the score. We'll go sideline now to Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dallin. Interesting complex in the match here after 20 minutes. Chile, surprising many people. There was a lot of talk during the week that they were coming up with a weaker side than they could possibly field, but you wouldn't know at the opening 20 minutes. USA, 2 opportunities to try so far. Good work from Mattias. And how about young Dylan Audley? What a standout college rugby for years with St. Mary's. He got thrown in the deep end 3 weeks ago against Argentina. He has just grown leaps and bounds since then and really looks to be cementing himself in the midfield for the USA's going forward.
Absolutely, Dan, as Chile go deep. Wuching with a great take. Runs it back. Burrows into a big Mario Mayol.
Use now.
Augsburger's kick. It's a little bit of a skew directly out, so chance here for Chile.
Yeah, that wind is kind of deceiving. It gusts every once in a while, and it caught the hold of Nate Augsburger's kick right there. And with a Chilean player down. Let's talk about Sam Wuching, Eagle number 519. And again, you've called his name a lot in the early goings in this game. And talking to Gary Gold yesterday, he said, you know what, we're in full earnest looking at that 2019 Rugby World Cup now. And there's 5 guys on the bench for this U.S. team that would be making their debuts if they get on. And Gary Gold said every time these guys get on the field, it's a trial for them because they want to show what they got, and the coaches want to see what they got.
Well, what's astounding about this player here, Wuching, is that he only started rugby about a year ago. Yes, he comes from a family where his father is from Samoa, but here he really brings the units just He's not scared at all, is he?
No, not. And again, he's using his big body, just going straight at him. We've seen that 2 or 3 times where he's really gone at the Chilean defenders. They stood tall that time, but I think that's why there's a Chilean player down on the ground right now, because of that hit up by Salmucci.
He's played in that competition you mentioned, for the USA Selects and the American Pacific Challenge. First look at him there, scored a try with a crossfield kick from McGee, actually. And Chilean player is good. He's back on his feet. Javier Richard. So we'll continue here with an opportunity for the South American team to get on the board. One penalty attempt, which went underneath the uprights.
Time on.
Second time they find themselves with ball in hand. They go to the front. Good ball there from Burusek. Veteran of the team. Burusek with his 27 cappers. Vermorel is driven forward. Advantage here for Chile. They take it to the line. Aggressive carry from Benjamin Soto.
Back here. No advantage.
No advantage coming here, so they
Number 7,
have another opportunity.
swimming in the mall.
Yeah, Tony Lamborn again, lazy getting out of that last maul. He's got to watch himself. He's already got pinged twice, once in a ruck, once in a maul now.
7.
And let's see what Chile does here. Their goal kicking was a little bit suspect on that first kick, was low. Now it's an angled kick. I think they're going to try to set up that line out. They've tried, the last 3 lineouts have all been to the front.
No, nothing there. Good
so if you're United States, you got to be aware of that. It's going to be a 5-meter line out here. Again, the United States with the pressure on them. Look for Ben Landry to try to steal this ball up front, or are they just going to put up a drive? Let's see if they even contest this line out.
See, Dussalat went to the front last time. They go to the middle.
Leave it USA out.
Come to the ground. Ruck time for Chile. Surging forward.
Ruck time. Leave it now, USA.
5 meters out.
Come back here.
Backline player shift to the left-hand side. Sunino is down that touchline, still available for the forward pack. Wide pass. Lavanderos. Held up there by Aussie ball. Stripped free by the centre.
Ripped by White.
The US have taken this one. Aussie with a strong tackle. Scored a try just a few moments ago and now certainly saved one. Forsberger calling for Tony Lamborn. Getting his forwards involved so they get Chile
Back.
on the back foot. Plus gives it time for McGee to get into position for a kick. Lamborn, they need support here. Chilean players all over it. Finally comes for the exit kick.
Stop.
Well, once again, good desperate defense by the United States. Chile looked like they almost found a little bit of seam in that defense, Dallin, but a turnover ball. Dylan Audsley, we see him score tries. Now we saw a good defensive play that probably saved a try. But the United States able to relieve the pressure momentarily. And I think it's all about that aggression again. They got to win that battle of the aggression at the breakdown. Chile's done a really good job of recycling possession. The United States have to thwart that.
There's that ball to the front to the captain, Richard.
Yeah, number 10.
Kick.
Advantage number 10, never onside.
Penalty advantage for Chile. Players on left and right attacking opportunities. Yanisevsky's pass goes forward, 10, so no advantage coming.
Line out. Yeah, just be accurate.
Yeah, I think that's what Gary Gold wants to say too. Be accurate. Now the Chileans will probably go for a kick on goal, straight in front of the poles.
Yeah, shot a goal.
The indication has been made by referee Osmus. But again, some errors by the United States, some penalties have allowed this Chilean team to keep the pressure on. They got to have better discipline, do the Eagles.
Chile inside.
So on your
16-14 in Santiago against Brazil in a real nail-biter to start off this competition.
I will not warn anymore. Next time you will lose the ball.
Argentina 57-12. But 3 yellow cards certainly affecting the play there for Chile.
Inside.
After this, they play Uruguay February 24th and then Canada on March 3rd. Both those fixtures at home at Estadio
we must not stand
Quintana.
If you have players in the lineup, they must be in the lineup.
Points up for grabs again. One penalty been missed so far by Tomas Janicevski. Former Stade de Francais player from in front. And the flags are raised. It is 10 points to 3. Chile find themselves on the scoreboard after 27 minutes.
And again, Gary Gold probably shaking his head because this is very similar to what we saw last week against Canada. There was an early flourish by the United States, but then they allowed the Canadians to pretty much dominate the rest of the first half. And right now, with the exception of the 2 tries, you know, Chile has been camped down in the United States end for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, the US only conceded 10 points in each game so far in the ARC. Of course, they need to turn that pressure into points, and it's Chile that start out. It's the captain. Strong outing so far from Javier Richard. Hula Mongolo, big contact with the front row forward. Up. Richard against a couple of US players, and Cam Dolan rips this one free, but the knees on the ground, got to release tackle player.
And once again, another mistake here by the United States. Very tempting when you see that ball rip free, or when it's available like that.
Let's go.
And here's Chile. They're going to put it inside the U.S. half.
Yeah, on the way. Do it now.
We heard referee Chris Asmus say that the Chilean player had his knee on the ground. That's why you have to release the tackled player. The United States never did release. Now let's take a look at it right here. Let's say keep your eye on the ball carrier's knee. There, it's on the ground. There's the rip, not releasing. Good call by referee Asmus.
Well, I have to carry on. Yeah, let's go.
And another Chilean player down on the floor.
Let's
you heard
go, line
referee
out,
Chris Asmus say, yep, we got to keep going here,
We cannot
folks.
stop for a cramp every minute, boys.
Back to the action they go. So the US, their final home game of this series. Meanwhile, this weekend, Uruguay host Argentina 15, and Canada play Brazil in Langford in North America with the rest of round 3 action. Chile. Good passage of play for them so far as they bring in right winger Martin Raddatz.
No problem.
Lovely step back on the inside, looking for that offload. Chile just goes a begging, but Nikola Borsek was on that made that break. Good luck. Who can play flank as well. Then quick hands on that far side. It's Whoopi on the angle. Josh Whoopi. Got a bit too excited in the end.
A bit too excited is right.
Thank you.
And on defense, so the United States is just allowing this Chilean team, but you see Whoopi. There's the left-footed kick. Goes straight into touch. Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to have that one back. There's plenty of green space on the outside. But the United States just have to be a little sharper and more precise on D. These gaps are starting to open up too frequently for them.
Too slow.
Josh Whoopi out of the Utah Warriors side, earning his 2nd cap tonight, first start. Gula Fuente has this one for Chile. Experienced centre. A lot revolves around him in midfield, as does Javier Richard.
Back here.
Turns 27. A couple of weeks' time. There's the captain. Still going, not held there. Javier Lavanderos made his debut in 2017 at the Nations Cup. It's another Chilean player down on the ground, so 14 able bodies. Richard goes to the far side. There is space to move. Chile looking for that offload. Benjamin Soto has done well on that far side. US do well. Hold up and then go to the ground.
Ball off the ground, unplayable.
Good defensive effort that time by the United States. You heard the referee, unplayable. That's why the United States will have that put in. Bryce Campbell was in the middle of things as well. He's played a lot of defense the last couple of games. Has been involved a lot. There's the United States. There's Campbell on the backside, Ben Landry in the front. And there he goes to ground, but the referee said, nope, unplayable. That's why the United States gets this put in.
Crouch!
Got to do a much better job down sustaining pressure, this United States team. And again, those 50-50 passes, I know Gary Gold's going to say we got to get rid of those 50-50 passes. Just set the ruck. We can dominate in that area.
You see that from there? That's okay. Yeah, both sides pretty engaged. Yeah, just hold the space on.
Some feed for the United States. 8 minutes left in this first half. 10-3 the score.
Bind. Set.
All about that early strike. US.
Yeah, clear it now.
When they engage, sets off with McGee. Turns it back into Audley. Centre rolls a couple of times. Wu Ching. Barrering run from the flanker. Great stride he has. Behind the back of Dolan. Mattias, the stun that marked him on the left-hand side. Hildebrand gets some extra go forward. And played with the Western Force and the Eastern Province Kings as well. Sam Wu Ching yet again. Bit more open space. We'd love to see him stride. Chile off their feet, so Augsburger goes quickly.
That player's 10. Play on.
Player came from 10 metres out.
Leave it now.
Still there for the US. Wu Ching goes into 9. McGee with a lot of defenders in front of him puts it to the boot. Tails okay. Chasing. Forces the kick downfield. McGee's in a position with Mattias, the speed sensation. Mattias steps back in. Ryan Mattias, up the middle he goes. Finds his forwards cleverly. Landry, 3 tacklers on him. Space to the right-hand side. Again, the US keep it with Hildebrand. Quick ball needed. Skips to the 1, does Lamborn, gets the Fenn going. He's got Whippy with him, couldn't get the pass away. Tony Lamborn takes them all on himself. Breakley to the line. Mongolor's there to help him out. Augsburger, half-handled. They finally bring him to the deck. He's got a release now. Chile all over this. They win a hard-earned penalty.
Holding on.
Augsburger just a little bit isolated there. He almost slid it away, then went to the floor, couldn't get that ball away. And once he went down to the floor, there was nobody there in time to secure possession.
Let's go down to Dan. Dan, what do you got for us?
Yeah, thanks, Dallin. Brian, you said Gary Gold is going to have a little bit of a talk to the gentleman at halftime about these 50-50s. You think it's hot out here on the field? I'm guessing that locker room is going to be an inferno. He will be furious with this first half performance. 10 points to 3. Not good enough from the Eagles. Credit to Chile, though. They've certainly turned up to play here in the first 40 minutes, in particular missing their star player, Anton Petrovic, who's out this week. Just rested the big number 7, who's a real nuisance around the breakdown. So hats off to Chile for a very, very good opening 34 minutes.
Still on attack are the Chileans. That's right, 5 minutes to go. This one's knocked back towards their side. Another good strong carry around the fringes. It's Chile. They go up the middle. Beltran Vergara. 20th cap for the scrum half. Got to his feet and then placed it. Chile have the ascendancy now. Crunching tackle and Indura. Brought down by Mongolor. Wide ball. Looking to exploit a bit of space. But Whippy's there. Barona trying to make things work, and Lestra takes it to the line again.
Ruck.
US being careful around the breakdown as the kick through from Barona goes into touch.
Yeah, not a bad touch finder. Picked up a little bit of territory for this United States team. Or for this Chilean team, rather. To about the 22-meter line. Tried to get a little back, get that bounce up for the winger charge, and on Mattias. Good body position now. Perfectly played. Let that ball go into touch where it's going to be that eagle throw.
Hildebrand finds Landry from the Glendale Raptors. Box kick is catchable. Mattias is underneath this. Good contest. Won though by Vergara, the 27-year-old. Chile still with the ball in hand. Flat ball into touch. Pass was on Lavanderos though.
Yeah.
Just fired it a bit too in front.
Yeah, good hands just prior to that by De La Fuente, but then that errant pass by Chile.
Option.
And Dan, I'd love to see the United States keep the ball in hand. They tried 4 kicks so far that did not pay out for them. It's been the Chileans that have been winning that high ball. It could have been forward. Either way it goes into touch, it's going to be that U.S. throw.
That's right. The U.S. can score from anywhere. Now that they've got warmed up in this first half. See if they can keep it in hand. Bryce Campbell setting up first phase. Breaking, wraps around the fringes. Helped there by Landry was there earlier. Now still Landry through the back. What's it? Shooting up. Quick hands. I must have heard visit here in the commentary booth. Teo got it away. Lamborn into open space. That's what you want. The flick pass. Ornsberger there. Knocked it backwards. It's fine. Nate Ornsberger regathers things for the US. Chile realigning in defense. Wucheng bumps down a couple. Whippy in at 9. Again they shoot up. Quick hands. It's 3 on 2. Marius on the outside of the standing start. Flicks it back in field to Dolan. Just knocked it on as he tried to pick that up on the run.
Yeah, Marius didn't have that full head of steam going when he got that ball on the outside. It's a flat pass. He had to kind of wait for it, almost front running. Cam Dolan on that outside. But that's how dangerous this U.S. team can be. There's that pass back inside, and there's the little flip over. Trying to gather that ball in was Cam Dolan. Just that slight knock on. And again, another Chilean player and a U.S. player down on the floor. It's a hot one out there, as Dan alluded to on a couple of occasions.
Safe to carry on?
Yeah, Tony Lamborn getting attention there.
Let's go, please.
He's holding that left shoulder of his. He's been heavily involved. I like the way he plays out of the midfield at times in third or fourth broken phase because he can really get some momentum going.
Yeah, and he was one of those guys last week that really kind of turned the tide for the United States in that second half. And it looks like it's going to go to the second half here, a real tightly contested game. The United States has to do a better job putting this pressure on this Chilean side. Forget the 50-50 passage, just at the ruck. We've seen how good they are when they can have a strike, when they have a good clean ball. They're just going to do that.
So good angle there of the fans that come up to watch out. Well, there's 40,000 collegiate rugby players in the US, 35,000 senior club players, and over 120,000 active members. Really getting the youngsters involved in this game is key for play here in the US. Scrum time for Chile. They're a team that have never qualified for the Rugby World Cup in 15s, but their 7-a-side team will be in San Francisco in July for the Rugby World Cup 7s later this year, as they get another penalty to Chile to close out this first half.
And again, just letting this Chilean team off the hook. They're making it easy for this Chilean team to get out of their own end. Yep, not releasing, and that ruck has been formed by the referee Chris Asmus. And again, this Chilean team just able to get these easy penalty kicks out of their own end, put that pressure right back on the United States. Let's see if we can take another look at it. Tony Lamborn going to be involved, got to his feet. The ruck was already formed according to Chris Asmus.
Keep going.
So, short line out, Dussalant goes to the back, doesn't find anybody, but his opposite number. Wide ball, that's the space they needed. Campbell tries to switch with Audsley. There were numbers to the right-hand side. An opportunity gone a begging there. It's going to be time for a scrum.
Yeah, just one more error by this United States. We haven't counted the penalties and the errors for this U.S. squad, but probably the highest count so far in this ARC. Just had a real hard time keeping hold of that ball. And it's those forced passes when guys aren't expecting it. And just not enough reaction time is allowed for these U.S. players. And time and again, with the penalties and the drop balls down, it's really made it easy for this Chilean team.
It certainly has, but they're playing out of their skins. Chile, country that borders the Andes and the Pacific Ocean nearby. They move it to the close angles. Good contact in midfield. De La Fuente there to help out. Chile keeping it tight. Forwards have been very active, impressed with Bursic, Richard, Escobar into the thick of things as well. Ball is playable, but Chile drop it back, and they're going to go to the half-time. Sheds, 7-point deficit. And it's 2 tries from the United States, 1 from Nate Orsberger and 1 from Dylan Audsley. Brings us to 10-3 after 40 minutes here in round 3 of the 2018 America's Rugby Championship, Titan Stadium in Fullerton. And we have a very exciting second half. We have all the highlights and stats coming at you very soon. Stay with us. We're going to take a short break. And it's 10-3. The United States lead Chile in the America's Rugby Championship from Southern California.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field for today's Rugby halftime show. Brought to you by World Rugby Shop. World Rugby Shop is a proud partner of USA Rugby and a long-standing supporter of youth rugby across America. Today's teams are from the junior players from the Fullerton Rugby Foundation.
It's the United States that lead 10-3 against Chile at the break. And Fullerton, California has witnessed some great action as the young kids take to the field right now. 2 tries for the US and a penalty for Chile. Sees that scoreline on your screens. And it was the US that attacked early. Ball in hand, quick thinking. They went to the far left-hand side. It was Mike Taylor with the original break. And that beautiful ball over the top from Mattias sent Osberger in for the first 5.
And the United States, when they got another chance, they did well as well. Dylan Audsley on its outside flank saw just one red jersey in front of him, had the speed, a little bit of strength to dot down for his first try as a U.S. Eagle to give the Eagles the 10-0 lead.
And the kids playing right here, rookie rugby kids in action. They're from the Fullerton Rugby Foundation, and they're certainly having a ball out there, a co-ed league, and they're carving it up here. Wonderful stuff from these young kids here. And 2 tries for the United States is the difference. We're going to take another short break and come back with analysis here in Fullerton, California. It is 10-3. The U.S. lead Chile after 40 minutes.
Don't forget to stop by the concourse to buy your USA Rugby gear today.
Hey, Patrick. Listen, Ronnie, I'm going to take my hands off him. I can't wait for 1 second to get through the water. Thanks.
The defending ARC champions, the United States, lead 10-3 after 40 minutes against Chile at Titan Stadium in Southern California. But the talk has been the young debutants on display today. They have certainly made an impact in this first 40.
And one of those guys is Saul Muchin, wearing the 6 jersey for that United States team. Talking to the players last night, they were really looking forward to watching Saul play. He's been a hard figure at the camp they've had. And we saw that in the first half. He's been having some really strong runs, taking it right at the defense, but he's also showed a little bit of pace when he got past that defense. He's so strong with ball in hand and so strong in the tackle. His leg drive has been fantastic when he gets a little bit of open space. His defense has been pretty solid as well. And that's what you want with a guy who's trying to be on that 2019 Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, you certainly do. The kids there in action there. A couple of bumps off the ball there. But speaking of the kids, somebody that has an unbelievable influence here in Southern California is Michael Yark. He sadly passed last year. His life is being celebrated today. An instrumental figure with the Santa Clarita Tigers in Occidental Rugby. Our thoughts with the family and friends that celebrate Coach Yark as the youngsters do their stuff here at Titan Stadium. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be the USA against Chile. Second half action, 10-3 after halftime. Welcome back from around the world, especially those watching in South and North America. It's the Condors from Chile, who trailed 10-3 against the host United States. And the second half here is going to be the reserves coming onto the field. And of course, Chile have recalled veteran Rodrigo Moya, the 35-year-old, and then they have a lot of youngsters, debutants in Diaz, Urita Kuochea, and Mato Runa take the field. The U.S. also have plenty of star power on the bench.
Well, the Eagles bench has been so good the last two games, but today only Angus McClellan returns from last week. And if they get on hooker, Dylan Fawcett, lock Brendan Daly, loose forward, Melon Al-Jabori, scrum half Ruben DeHaas, and center Paul Lasike will all be making their Eagles debut. So, you know, I wonder what Gary Gould's feeling right now, because I'm sure he was hoping his team would have a much more comfortable lead than they do right now. I think if they come out against what they did against Canada last week, the United States will be okay, but they certainly were disappointed, I think, with that first half effort.
And so Chris Asmus gets us underway. Second half action begins here at Titan Stadium. I'm Dallin Stafford, joined by Eagle legend Brian Visit, and straight away it's the U.S. that put it down the field.
And that should be a U.S. put-in, because the Chilean player was standing on the field to play.
Play on?
Yep.
They've gone quickly. Great thinking there from Whoopi. Ball is still available. Yeah, boy, now Teo on that far side. Mattias into the fray. Mattias beats one, throws a dummy, gets a miracle ball. It's another try. Dylan Orsi gets a double, but it's unbelievable skills. Pop the champagne. I'm about to lose my voice. The Eagles.
It's in the inside.
Straight from the halftime talk to the try zone.
And what a heads-up play by Whippy. Good awareness there. He knew the Chilean player touched that ball, went into touch then, and then a nice long pass. I think it was Nate Brakely, also an alert player in the midfield for that U.S. that got things going. What a great finish, too. And again, Mattias creates so much havoc on that outside. That opens things up in the inside.
Yeah, just give me.
Let's take another look at the finish here. Mattias. Yeah, there's the little pass back outside, and then the little lob back inside. Good hands by the U.S. That was a much better. Again, that's what you want when they're coming out of the blocks. And look at that good offload. That time it worked perfectly. When it works, it looks beautiful. When it doesn't, we saw that repeatedly in the first half.
Always in the field of play.
What's Chris Asmus talking about here? I just want to think you make sure that everything was.
Thank you.
They're going back. Was it a forward pass possibly they're looking at?
It could be the start.
This is super tight, so we'll have a look.
think everything's good at this
Yeah,
point.
so before that, boys.
It's actually the line out, the quick line out.
No, that looked good to me.
On the kick. There we go.
There it is.
Keep going if you can, Davey.
Looks good to me, the mark.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, we're checking the decision on the touch, guys. Yeah.
If they're checking to see
Perfect.
who has that throw in, then I think they made a right call because the Chilean player was definitely in the field of play.
Just give us some space, boss, please.
And,
Thank you.
And the mark looks fine because you see the AR is still busy going to the right-hand side of the field.
Yeah, we can't see where the contact happened, Davey. Can you go back a little bit? Okay, yeah, so you're happy with the fact that the ball was in the field of play when it was touched by Chile, line up throw to USA, and the try's okay. Okay, thank you.
And keep that champagne bottle open, it's awarded.
Wow. Yeah, it all looked good. I was just wondering if there might have been a pass later on because it all looked good from the start to the ball got on that far sideline.
So it means Will McGee has another 2 points up for grabs. Almost charged down. He is successful. 17-3. And that try came off to 53 seconds in the second half.
The first try of the game came in the 3rd minute mark, so good starts on both sides of the house. And if you're an Eagles fan, you just want to keep them continuing to have that momentum. They got a little bit of wind behind them here in the second half, so that might help.
First off stats, Chile 53% possession. Didn't show on the scoreboard as Cam Dolan picks that one off. US led the penalty count 8-3. Forsberger. Another high box kick. Whoopi comes down. Whoopi takes, knocks it backwards. It's anyone's game. And then crawling on his knees is Bagara, the young scrum off for Chile. Big tackle from Whoopi, making his presence felt on the field. Whoopi again, second tackle. A matter of seconds. And is going to play his rugby with the Utah Warriors. Major League Rugby action starting up in April. Another scrum off box kick. This one floats towards the midfield. Teo, big collision there.
Ball backwards.
Ball is still available. Audsley on that far side. Dylan Audsley puts down the hammer. Tries to go the distance. Flicks it back in field to his central partner. It's another brilliant score for the Eagles. Bryce Campbell hasn't kept his footing inside the field of play.
That's what Chris Asmus wants to know.
Davey, if you can hear me, I just want to have a quick look at
Perfect body position. Perfect positioning by Chris Asmus.
We're checking on the grounding.
Did Bryce Campbell, these are very short in goals here at this stadium. Did Bryce Campbell go too far before he dotted down Dylan Audsley, though? How about him, huh? Was this his second or third test? Third test. He came in that first game in Argentina.
So second official test, third match for the Eagles.
Oh, that's right. Yep, you're right. Argentina 15. And this was good by Cam Dolan here because he wanted to make sure he wasn't offsides here on this contested.
Yeah, fair contest for me.
That's fair contest. Yeah, you heard referee. And there's Dolan.
Yeah, that's
good discipline.
I want to check the dead ball line here, Davey.
And then you saw a Chilean player that came and played it. That allowed the Eagles to play it as well.
The air, no problem. But just dead ball
good
line.
discipline there.
Thank you.
And now it's going to go back to the grounding.
Grounding of the try in a television match official, Davey Audrey. He's getting paid per second, so we need to bring him in to the action.
Yeah.
And let's see if that try was scored. Very narrow in goal area. 5 meters.
Tackle's okay. I'm just checking the dead ball line. Yeah, the line. Well, I'm checking to see if he touched the dead ball line. The tackle in the air is no problem. It's this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he got it down.
Try awarded by referee Asmus, and it's Bryce Campbell that touches down.
Try awarded to number 12, Bryce Campbell, USA.
And he's tried number 4 as well. Bonus point in hand.
Yeah, Dylan Osley had his hands in 3 of the tries now for this U.S. squad. Dotted down 2 himself. Looked like he was almost going to get a 3rd, but good wherewithal finding his center partner Bryce Campbell back on the inside. Will McGee, another one of those good young players coming up wearing that 10 jersey, and a nice kick there by the youngster.
Fantastic effort, 24 points to 3. The US lead, bonus point in hand, and they've started the second half a lot better than the first. So definitely to find out what Dan knows at the halftime chat. Chile enjoyed plenty of possession, not able to get over the advantage line, and this is what the US can do to you. Defense by Campbell keeps going. Dolan's with them. Lamborn wants to try on the outside. Won't have the legs. Gets the fan going. Into the 22. The crowd behind them. Augsburg around the fringes. Wuching tries to help out. The ball may have been pinched here by Chile. Clever play on the ground. By the loss from Dores. Good drive by their forward pack as well. Chile look for an exit strategy here. Nice low driving kick there by Rona into touch.
Yeah, looked like another try for the United States. Almost got caught up. Let's take it down to Dan. Let's take this look at this highlight first. That was Bryce Campbell that just went right through this Chilean defense. Good defense. He is so strong with ball in hand. Nice passing back inside.
Salant gets this one for Chile. Line-out error for the US. Not many at all today. Ball available now. Good dummy lines. A great 2-on-1 on this side. Flat ball. They go through Sunino's kick. Mikey Teo's there covering. Teo thought about a soccer kick, seeing as though we had a soccer stadium here in Fullerton. But in the end, cleans up nicely. There's the fullback. US Eagles finally get some players arriving. Mondelor there to help things out. Augsburger, there's no one back in the pocket. So he'll put it to the box kick. Won't go very far. It'll give Chile a good attacking platform.
That's a good turnaround by Chile there. Picked up a lot of territory. And I like Mikey Teo. I've said it repeatedly in this ARC. He's just a really smart player. Every time he gets the ball, it usually comes back, or it always comes back to this U.S. squad. And that all started from that U.S. line out there. They've only made 3 errors, I think, in this whole ARC. 1 per game.
Go to the front, quick thinking. Chile catching him unawares, going for the line. Phenomenal stop. Tomas Dusalan, take a bow. That is set piece, magnificent. And Mohoka gets an excellent score against the United States in his 18th appearance.
And they caught the United States napping at the front of the line out. If you get a look at Hula Magaloa, he just turned around towards the field of play. And the Chileans just do that front ball. An easy score for the hooker, but good heads-up play. There it is right there. And again, just that little pass back inside to Dosalant to get the Chileans on the board. And there's the finish. He saw just plenty of green in front of him from about 18 meters out. Good heads-up play by Chile. Again, a little sleep at the wheel for the United States that time.
Conversion from far out here. Tomas Janiczeski, man from the Old Locks Rugby Club, to convert the score here. So Chile, 8 points on the board for them. Only scored 9 in total in the last 2 games against the United States. 1 track to beat that record. The set piece has been impressive. This kick will stay to the left, 24 points to 3. We'll go down sideline, Dan Power. Kickoff there has been knocked by Chile. Mattis is all over this. Straight away, the US looking to strike back. Behind the back ball, goes to nobody. Chile scooped this one up. Osberger's chasing away. The ball is alive. Lavanderos up in midfield and then flies forward for a big tackle. McGee looking to counter himself. Isolated. Boys arriving now all over this. Finally. Knock-on call by referee Asmus. Breathtaking stuff.
Helter-skelter start of the second half. It's just 8 minutes in. We've already seen 3 tries and nearly another Chilean try right there off an errant U.S. pass. It went to nobody. And then the Chileans player, there's the defense right there. Bryce Campbell again coming back to help out. And there's Will McGee. Did well to get that ball going backwards. The United States dodges a bullet there. Scrum ball. It's been steady scrum ball for this U.S. team. And pretty good scrums throughout the competition. Looks like Dina Waldron's a little injured, maybe left shoulder.
Yeah, well, players are taking a knee right now. You were at the jersey presentation last night for the U.S. side.
Yeah, round 4, the United States, they go to Brazil to play the Brazil team. That's in São José dos Campos, Brazil. And that's at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Friday, it's going to be delayed on ESPN.
We will obviously be calling that game as well. But Viz, what was it like being at the presentation?
Yeah, it really was a great honor. Dave Hodges called some of the guys who lived in San Diego, former Eagles. So there was Lynn Walton, myself, Jason McVie, Sean Allen, Matt Hawkins, Ray Green. We had a great time. It was really just a pleasure to see how close-knit that group is, and to be involved in something like that brought back a lot of memories. It was really fun.
It certainly did. And the Eagle number is very important once you represent your country, and we know there are a few that have done so in recent times. Ruching is the most recent, so penalty here for the U.S. scrum time.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting. Whenever Nate, as the skipper, was handing out the jerseys, he would say Eagle 518. In Josh Whippy's case, who came on last week in a reserve role, and saving the best for last when Psalm Wushing got his jersey. So, you know, everybody gave a standing ovation, which is expected, because it's always neat. And Gary Gold said it's really exciting to be able to give these guys that opportunity. So it was really fun to be there.
Take a look at the scrum replay here. Dominance here from the US. Front row gets popped up. So US have gone for a line out. But what an honor it is, of course, to represent your country. And this competition is really proving valuable for all the sides competing. The United States in pole position so far, defending their 2017 title. And here they look to attack again. Lamborn, the flanker, lurking in midfield. Oldsberger takes it out quickly. McGee, Mattias ball in one hand, flicks it back in field. Whippy for the touchline. Chile, they have rescued this one. Very close to that sideline. AR Nick Rocano is there. Pressure on Vittori Lustra. Man who plays his rugby in Italy, former Chilean under-19 8th man. High ball over the top, comes down here to Whippy. Takes it nicely. There's a BYU national champion from 2014-2015, Hildebrand. Does well to collect that. They come back to the short side. Audley just seeing what he can do. Not much on with a flat wall of defenders. And now they've got space for Teo. Mike Teo steps back in. Teo for the line. Looks for the pass, he'll go himself. Mikey Teo scores his 10th try in an eagle jumper. Man has carved up the 7's field and the 15's one as well. And that brings up try number 5 for the US.
Again, what a nice heads-up play by Mikey Teo. Great field awareness whenever he has ball in hand. He used Nate Augsburger really well on that inside support channel. That froze that defender ever so slightly, but good quick hands by this Eagle back line. That was the key right there, when Teo stepped back in, and then just that little show back inside froze that defender just enough for Teo to have the distance. Good quick hands on the outside. I think that was Whippy. But Mikey, there's the little show back inside. That allowed him to have that just an extra couple of yards and able to ground that ball. Nice finish by the U.S. Much better job of finishing here in the second half.
Yeah, it certainly was. Josh Rugby heavily involved. The man who played 7s for Utah, national champion 2016-2017.
And Dallin, as expected, we're starting to see some of these reserves down the field. Paul Lasike, again, a former NFL player, fullback for the Chicago Bears. He's starting to warm up. He's wearing that 23. He's going to be making his debut. Great kick by Will McGee. And who also is coming in? It looks like McClellan's coming in wearing that 18 jersey. Again, the only guy who was on the bench last week against Canada. Everybody else new to that role from last week.
So 31 points to 8. Mike Teo's conversion. His try is being converted by Will McGee. Chile will look to the bench as well to get some of their subs in as Cam Dolan takes this one nicely. The 4-time collegiate All-American from Life University. Augsburger goes downfield. Whoopi's chasing. Goes high and gets fended to the ground. Lamborn comes in to finish things off. Good sniping dive through the tackle there from Januszewski. Big contact in midfield. US have Ben Landry recovered in back play, so just under 14 for a second.
It's their own player.
Chile. Bryce Campbell's all over this.
Not supporting his own weight.
So the referee with the signal not supporting his weight goes to the floor.
Ball carrier was on top. No.
Use the ball carrier to support him.
That's it.
So Chile now with a chance to put a little deep, but a good 5-minute passage by this U.S. squad results in that Teo try. And again, I expect to see the benches starting to clear a little bit from both these teams. Ben Landry, again, looking at the trainer for some assistance. And here's Lasike coming on for his debut, wearing that 23 jersey. Okay, there's going to be a shuffle in the back line because he's more of a 12, so let's see what they do. Aldsley looks like he might be going back to fullback, and it looks like Mikey Teo may be on the wing. Bryce Campbell will shift out to 13.
Chile knocked this one back. And then a thumping tackle on the captain, Javier Richard. Still inside the 22. Chile looking for their second try in this clash. Got space to the right-hand side. Not flipping around the fringes. It's the man from the old boys, Bagara.
He's on the ball, it's no problem.
Still they keep it tight.
Tackle! Ball available. Forward move!
Chile finally dig this one out. It's Dussalant. It's the man that's got the first 5. Brilliant set-piece lineup from the South Americans.
Don't hold the player in. No problem.
Strong collisions around the fringes. Still they pick and drive. Chile.
Move!
Backs looking to attack. Corona wants possession.
Tackle!
Ball's been spilt forward, so Augsburger flicks it with that right foot of his down towards Martin Radatz. Beats one, gets a kick in, then heavy collision. There's space to operate. Ausley covering it from fullback. Takes on 2 tacklers.
Leave it, Chile.
Does well. McGee's back in the pocket should they need him. Chile still keeping the pressure on. Then they concede a full-on penalty.
Number 2.
Well, silly play that time by Chile. They had the United States under all sorts of pressure. Dosalan came in from the side. That's going to relieve the pressure. Good play by Dylan Audsley, getting back to cover that kick. There's a nice little chip through by this Chilean team. See more U.S. players. Looks like Brendan Daly's getting ready to make his debut for this U.S. squad wearing the number 19 jersey. And here he goes, another debut. So he's number 521, I think, right? Lasika 520, Ben Landry coming off, so Daly coming on. And again, big moments for all these players coming on for this U.S. squad.
Line out successful for the U.S. Ball's put downfield towards that touchline. And then flung back in field. Janiszewski, all sorts of pressure, but they know the space is there. Here they go, Sunino. It's play on. Been knocked by Chilean player. Oldsberger has this. McKee, quick hands, Taylor through, little flick. Campbell couldn't get his offload away. Surrounded by red jerseys.
It's a ruck.
Mikey Teo playing referee. Slapping the Chilean player get away. Good work again by this U.S. team. Nate Augsburger, a little bit of a hand injury, it looks like, on that right hand. Will McGee going for that touch finder. Not much of an angle here. Brendan Daly wearing that 19 did so well in South America last year on that junior tour for this U.S. team. A lot of developing players were on that. A few of these guys that were in this Eagle lineup today. Bryce Campbell was on that squad.
That's right. Brendan Daly out of the San Francisco Golden Gate Rugby Club area. Takes his position in the lineup. Now, Chilean player coming in, Iñaki de Urrutia Corchea, 21-year-old, also on debut, gets his first cap. Massive congratulations to him. First look, as you said, as centre Paul Lasika, the man who plays his rugby with the Utah Warriors. Graduate from BYU. Ball goes to the back. Teo was looping behind. Ball's kicked and then still with the Chilean side. As they range up there with Soto.
Off feet.
Hulahola Mangaloa. He might get a talking to. Let's hear what the referee. Are we going to get a warning here? Talking to Captain Nate Augsburger.
Too many penalties, players not supporting their own weight in the contact area. Send the message or I'll send someone off. Off feet. Let's move on, Nate.
You're the referee. Got to do a better job not using your own weight to support yourself, not the opposition. Here's another look at it. It was Hulahola Mangaloa that got called that time by the U.S.
Got sideline to Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dallin. With USA prop Dino Waldron here, mate, tough conditions out there, especially in the front row. How'd you find it for the 50 minutes?
For the 50 minutes, I think for the heat and kind of travel, what we dealt with, I think we did a pretty good front shifting for that high five. I think scrums and lineouts were a very, very strong part of our game for this game.
A lot closer than most people anticipated in the first 40. Running away with it now, but tougher than you're thinking out there against Chile?
No, I think we go into every match with the same anticipation for every opponent. I think, it wasn't a factor underestimating them or anything like that. I think, conditions that we were dealt with, we had to deal with adversity, and it took us 40 minutes to get into that game, but we wore them down, and I think what we did was fitness took over.
Great opening 3 games from you. Back to London Scottish next week. They're going to miss you down in South America, but what a great shift you've had today as well. Dino Waldron, folks.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Dino Waldron, the whole working front row forward. Again, we're missing the experience of the international players that have left this camp and will continue to leave.
Yeah, Dino, I think, leaves tomorrow for back to the UK. He can put in, as Dan said, 3 really good games here, good efforts in all of those matches.
So we're at the 60-minute mark, 20 minutes to go in this clash. 31-8 the US lead. 5 tries so far on the board for the United States and 1 for Chile.
And speaking of Dino, it reminded me, I was reading a story, maybe you saw it this week, where the Georgian pack is going to be scrumming down against the England pack. Eddie Jones has sent him over and wants to practice against that Georgian pack. And I remember when Dino Waldron came off that game in Atlanta a couple years ago, he said, man, the pressure was unbelievable in that front row. In Georgia, they played them 2 years in a row now, and we've seen what a very daunting scrummaging team they are.
Especially for one of your first games as well. Front row position. Oldsberger gets us back on the way. Set piece here for the US. A short ball to the new man on debut, Paul Lasika. Now they go to the back for the kick over the top. Ball rolls into the 22. Fielded by Javier Lavanderos. He wants to put it out.
You also take that all day long. That was a good kick, and it softened things up in that defensive back line for Chile. Paul Lasika, I think we're going to see him probably have more carries in rugby than he had as a fullback for the Chicago Bears, because it opened things up a little bit. Yeah, definitely behind the 22-meter line where it's going to be a U.S. put-in. And one of those other guys making a debut, Malon El Jabori, wearing the 20 jersey for the U.S. has come on.
I have time off for some. I hear you.
He's got USA Sevens experience.
Time on, please.
That's right, he does on the Sevens series. This comes from a strong rugby playing family. Maul set by the US. There's no contest.
Play on.
Except there has been somebody that pinched at the back. There was some very sneaky play there by Chile to come away with it. And now it's Claudia Tura.
Leave it 8. Off. Back.
Dolan told to leave it. The US careful not to infringe. They're being warned by referee Asmus in a ferocious tackle in midfield. Chile put a stab over the top. Natis is there. It's going to bounce. Audsley picks it up off the jump. Drives it nicely into his opposite number.
10, leave it. 20.
Angus McLennan earning his fourth cap today. Lasika throws a dummy. Space opens up for the big unit. Lasika steams down, gets the offer to Mike Teo. Beautiful presence of mind. Wu Ching there in support. It's still with the US. Quick hands. McGee throws a dummy to the outside. Mongalore was the one in support. El Jabari, first touch, first join in Eagles jersey, number 20, touches down. What a moment for the young player. It's celebrations all round.
How about that? He's only been in the game about a minute. First touch, as you had said, scores a try.
That's where you're saying, right? We got players.
How do you like that?
Deal with it, please.
Congratulations.
Try number 6 belongs to Malon Al Jabari, signed with the San Diego Legion, born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and what a line! Stunning stuff from the 21-year-old.
Yeah, how about going back a couple of steps, though? That big run by Paul Lasika, that opened things up in that Chilean defense, allowed the United States to keep that pressure on. And then some good nifty handling by that back line. And Will McGee slots the extras to make it 38-8 in favor of the U.S. So just like last week, you get a good look at our try score. The fans appreciated that down. Really like the way this U.S. team has played in the second half. And again, just like last week, but I think our concerns for Gary Gold is they got to start out of the gates a little bit better than they have these last 2 games.
Well, especially when you're going to get a bit more pressure in some of the future games. Uruguay away is going to be very tough. The U.S. scored 4 tries in the second half, and that one was a sparkling one, set up by the replacement players. Firepower off the bench, that's what you want, and that's an excellent take there from Nate Breaking. Man from New York Athletic Club, such a hard-working lock. Forsberger's kick again. Gives Teo a chance to come through. Makes a contact with Soto. He's lost his number at the back of his jersey. Ball there with Chile. Big hits flying in, looking for turnover ball of the United States. Chile don't keep it in hand. They put it over the top as well. So give an opportunity here. Collection. Great catch there from Brendan Daly. Daly on the outside. Look at him go. The debutants shining here in Fullerton.
Personal ever on feet.
Good defense by Chile. It's that full arm penalty, yeah, but 19, 20, 23 have all made an impact here as they come on. And as we said, you know, Gary Gold's taking a look at these guys coming on, and they want to make the most of their opportunities here in this second stanza. That was a good run down the short side by Brendan Daly. And more reserves coming on, 21. Ruben de Haas is coming in for his debut. He's going to go to scrum half. Nate Augsburger's coming off. And I think Ben Sema, he's already a cap player, but he's on for the U.S. wearing number 22 as well.
That's right.
Will McGee, a well-deserved rest.
And also Dylan Fawcett on. Debutant first cap for him. He's on the field. Chile, when they're on line-up, ball comes down. Mongolo is there in defense. Now they work the fringes through Brusik.
Yeah, part of the tackle, the release.
Still with Chile.
Back.
Postal players on the field for them as well. Cecilio Diaz. Diaz makes his debut from the Craig House All Boys Rugby Club. Chile keep this one in hand. They go to the far side. Looking to step off that right foot. Jose Tomas Maturuna. Also for his first cap. 6 debutants for the United States and 3 for Chile.
Leave it. 16.
Block kick over the top from Domingo Saavedra is taken by Dylan Audsley. Another good catch from the fullback. Such a versatile backline player. Seamar's first touch goes to Teo. Spots some space downfield. Although it goes to the middle of the field, so it gives an opportunity here for Janisevski to decide to go to the right-hand angle.
And it gives possession back to the United States. They've been very, very good in the line-out. It's going to be our first look at Dylan Fawcett throwing in. And I think the U.S. has cleared their bench except for Tony Papura, the veteran player just coming back from injury. He's good to go if he wants to come on. Already has 8 caps for this U.S. squad, but Fawcett's first throw is a beauty.
Taken nicely. Fawcett, former Ohio Aviator player, now with the Old Blue of New York. Wu Cheng, ball stripped from him. Strong carry initially, linked up with Paul Lasika.
And it was Lasika, Wu Cheng, and Whippy last night. Jason McVie and I were going up to the award ceremony, the jersey presentation. These two were having a great time, singing to each other and goofing around. It brought back memories from 35 years ago. Well, there you saw the one mistake Wu Cheng has made, losing that ball in that tackle.
Set!
So scrum center. Domingo Saavedra, the 20-year-old, feeds and gets it again on this narrow side. Little dummy shown off the bench. Maturana. And finds the hard-working Benjamin Soto, 30-year-old. Chile. Plenty of possession in this game. Short ball, and they run into a brick wall.
No, leave it.
2 defenders from the United States. Very flat pass to Cecilio Diaz, 23-year-old. Chile trying to get a bit of space. They wriggle out into the Sema tackle. And that is Diego Ramirez. That ball just goes down to the deck. So a couple of errors creeping in from both sides.
Ben Sema, his father, Marcello, an Argentina diplomat. He's in the crowd today watching his son play yet again for this U.S. team. 8th cap for Ben Sema, 36 points. Former All-American. And it looks like they finally emptied the bench. Tony Papura, wearing that 17 jersey, has come on for the U.S. squad.
Crouch! Bind!
Ruben de Haas, 21-year-old of the Cheetahs Academy from South Africa. Finally in the United States jersey. Full-on penalty to the U.S.
Tight hit.
That's a good scrum, that whole new front row. Good job, good pressure. Yeah, Ruben de Haas was another one on that tour to South America last year that did so well. Nice little touch finder inside the 22. Sema puts the U.S. team.
Let's go field side to Dan.
Right there, perfect.
Yeah, thanks, Dallin. Could be a little preview. We've got the 2019 World Cup coming, but 2023, you could be looking at the 9-10 for the United States here in Ruben de Haas and Ben Seamer, two young, exciting players.
Can you stand
and how about the big
now?
man, Paul Lasecki, in the centres?
Thank you.
Spent the last 2 years blocking for Matt Forte and Jordan Howard. Now he gets a chance to run with the ball, and hasn't he taken it with both hands?
Thank you.
Oh, he certainly has, Dan.
The thrower.
Starting to see him develop in this ARC competition as Fawcett successful with his second throw. Dolan peels away. He saw nobody was covering him. Now de Haas shifts it across to Seamer. Flat ball. Seeker for the line. Lays it back beautifully. It's quick hands. El Jabari doesn't want to pass. He wants to get his double. He's over the line. Is the ball down?
Held up.
Boy, he took that at pace. Good defense by.
No, I'm not going to check. I have
good defense by Chile. Dylan Fawcett. He wants to get in there, influence the referee. See if we can take a look at it. Oh, it's hard to tell from that angle. Yeah, can't really see. Another good run by Paul Lasike. Though you heard Dan talking about him with another handle. He looked awfully good running at full steam into that midfield.
I love the way he laid the ball back as well. Quick possession for the US. It's what you want. Bringing defenders in, some breakdown. So scrum for the US.
Boy, this is where Lasike could be so dangerous. Oh, good scrum by Chile. Well, that gets their forward pack a little bit of momentum. Well, you didn't expect that. And again, you got to do the work in the scrum. You can't just be in that 5-meter position, think you're going to get good quality ball. Everybody's got to work. And the Chileans just outworked that U.S. team that time. And look at that scrum. Oh, there you see it. Wow. A U.S. forward front row just popped right up. Good pressure at time on the loose head side by Chile.
Chile again win the set piece. The wrong end of the field. They look to get out of their 22. Plenty of replacements on the field as well. The duck under that tackle. Not held. Step back in is much a runner.
Rock time, USA leaves it.
Breakout Soldiers, coached by head coach Mark Cross, with assistant Raul Maroon for this Chilean side. They go wide, there is space to operate. Dolan covering on defense. It's Chile, they do well.
Keep moving. 6.
Good crisp passing over the top. It's Chile now. 2-on-1 on the side. Play on, it came off the United States defender. Janicevski opening up wide. Great run. Sunino for the line. Sunino has been tackled in the corner.
Okay.
Try or no try.
Touchline's okay?
I think you should check it.
Okay. How about the pass?
I was okay with it.
Yeah, me too. Touchline, no problem.
Yeah, I think referee Chris Asmus just wants to see if he grounded it cleanly. Good pursuit by Ryan Mattias and Mikey Teo. There's the last pass. Teo almost closed it, but watch Mattias come flying out of nowhere. Did he get that grounded? I'm not sure before he touched the touch in goal.
Sorry, I didn't catch that, Davey. Can you repeat that?
Campbell committed that one off the U.S. player, so play on. That's a good call.
Did it bounce back and hit his knee?
For me, that's backwards off White.
Now the grounding. There's that last pass. Well, everywhere along.
Try from this angle.
Davey, the screen's too far from me. Can you give me a decision on that pass, please? Sorry, can you repeat that? The picture's very small on the screen. Sorry, can you repeat that one more time, Davey? Okay. So the pass is fine. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So they got that sorted out, communication between Davey Ardrey and Chris Asmus. Finally decided that try is good, but nice reply by Chile. Against the run of play, the United States has scored, they scored 2 in a row after that early try by Chile. Cut it close, 24-8, but that's a nice try coming back for this Chile team.
Oh, fantastic finish indeed. Italio Zunino, the try scorer. Wonderful work from him as Jose Tomas Maturuna looks to convert from the left-hand touchline. 2 tries for the Condors. Chilean side. Wonderful strike also. Just curling across the face. It will not be successful. 38-13 as this game closes down, and 2 excellent scores from the Chileans.
Yes, as it was. And that's the most points the United States have given up so far in this ARC. 2 games of 10 defensively. So there you go. Probably a few things that they can work on. And again, going down to South America is no easy ask. It's a lot of travel. I think they'll be losing to some of these players. So they really have to suck it up for those last 2 games.
Chile take this one off the restart. Aniseski was the one that made that initial bust through the middle, the most dangerous and influential player in the fullback position. Quick hands. Chile looking to get some open space again. Good pick up. And then they lose it to the ground. Double knock on.
There's been a couple of gaps in that U.S. back line. On the outside, yeah, it's unfortunate for Chile. They just couldn't handle that last pass. They still had a couple players out wide. You saw the frustration on the Chilean player.
Left a bit USA so we can get a tight end. Thank you.
That last scrum, Chile had the better of the U.S. They need to do better here. Just about 4 minutes left in this contest. Want to finish strong.
Set!
Sorry, Ruben Doha speeds. Scum goes backwards still. It's available for Sima to attack the line. Good pull. And another strong carry from Paul Lasika. Wu-Cheng flying in on that one. Knocked it forward. But both former football stars really making an impact here on the rugby field.
Yeah, that pass just a little bit lacking from the Haas. Just a little bit shallow. It was great thinking that inside line.
We have to blood up, please.
By Wu-Cheng, it was open too.
He's open. Blood up, please, for number 20.
Got a blood sub for Chile.
Yeah,
not really a sub, just trying to get some treatment. Okay, here's that little pass back inside to Lasike. Again, so strong. As you mentioned before, good presentation. There's that pass, just a little bit shallow.
No, boys.
It wasn't too badly defensed by Chile. Wishing might have taken his eye just off the ball just a little bit there, looking at that defender coming at him.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but the U.S. gets so much goal for momentum with those 2 players. Really do.
Well, they're so strong on their feet. The ball in hand. And I think Lasike, get some more games under his belt.
Time on, please.
He could be a real force in that midfield.
Bind.
So Chile, their replacement halfback, Domingo Saavedra, there's a Junior World Trophy with Chile in under 20, and they break out here. There are numbers to burn. Soto looks for support. Finally tackled by Sima. The captain, Richard, goes the same way. Chile have really opened things up as well in this second stanza. They go against Lasika and McLennan. Ball not available, so it'll be US scrum.
Ball off the ground.
Yeah, Lasika, Angus McClellan both involved on that defensive play. Had a nice chat with English yesterday. He grew up in one of the beautiful parts of the United States, Traverse City, Michigan. As you see him, along with Lasika on that tackle, helps out that Davenport Women's Program with Greg Tellez, and they do such a wonderful job there. It's good to see him playing some really good rugby.
He's also plays for the Utah Warriors. Teammates with Josh Whoopi.
Can we make this process quicker, second row?
Not a bad second half for the US. 4 tries. Slow start, as you mentioned, that in have to improve as they take on Brazil and Uruguay in the remaining 2 fixtures.
Yeah, if you let some good teams get a good start, or if you get off to a bad start against some good teams, then you could be over by halftime.
Options, right and left. Seekers here to the right, scrum going backwards, but Haas has it as Seema attacks open field.
On the ball, no problem.
Bryce Campbell with him with a flat angle. Daly. The take from him. They go back to the left-hand side. Seema, cut-out ball. Mattias flicks it back in field. The way he keeps the ball alive is superb from the left winger. Breakley. Fawcett's with him.
Ball available.
Finally comes out, wave after wave. Daly couldn't get his pass to Ruching.
Leave it, Chile!
Seema has Lasika with him. Seema gets Lasika for the line! Lasika! The missile comes through and scores a wonderful try in his first outing in a US jumper. And it's the debutants that have sparkled here in the second body.
Yeah, I think again, and that could be a real good weapon in the midfield for the United States. Gets his rugby fitness going.
Inside 90 seconds. Can you confirm that?
It's been a while since he played rugby, you know, with that pro football career. But again, he is just a load in that midfield. That was a nice little move right there that created that opening on that outside. Lasika didn't have a whole lot to finish with, just one man to beat. But a nice little work on the inside. Prior to that, Lasika scores in his debut. Two guys scoring on their debut today. That's fantastic.
All right, Ben Seema setting things up. His crafty fly off. Born in Buenos Aires. Eagle number 504. Sets things up for the latest Eagle, Paul Lasika.
One of the latest. A whole handful got capped today, which is great to see. And again, Eddie, this is like a trial run. We've mentioned it before for that 2019 Rugby World Cup. And a lot of these guys putting their hands up. I think Dino Waldron was right, though. They did a really good job softening things up in that first 40, 50 minutes of play. But these reserves, as the bench has been strong for this U.S. in all 3 ARC matches so far. That's been the difference, I think, in all of the games.
It really has. They celebrate. Ben Seema's conversion is over. 45 points to 13 here at Titan Stadium in Fullerton. This game winds down. The U.S. third and final home game in the 2018 edition. The defending champions. Ball spits free, though, for Chile. They're looking for their third try.
Leave it, USA!
Try scorers Busalant and Sonino. Ball comes to hard-working Nicola Busic. He's one of 16 players who will play in Major League Rugby later this year. Oh, gap appears and then closes. Sabedra exploiting things on that narrow side. Chile inside the 22.
Step 19.
Real progress for them in this competition. Despite being 6th on the log, they have gone the full 80 here with the United States. Little dummy switch on that far side, and a little high around Soto.
Oh, on the 5, on the 5.
Yeah, we're in injury time. Game's going to end here very soon after this line out, probably.
Line out.
One more chance here for Chile. Find pay dirt. Again, they caught the U.S. napping when they scored that first try. Had a good try against the run of play.
Timing.
To dot down their second try of the game.
So the South Americans looking to finish things off.
Stay 2, stay 2. Stay on.
2002, these two teams split a game each. And it's been the U.S. dominating ever since.
Leave it, don't pull him out.
ARC competition. Ball there for the U.S. Seema is very deep. They chase. Puts it up the back to bring it in to the round 3 clash between these two sides. There have been 9 tries scored in this game. 7 by the U.S. and 2 from Chile. And the U.S. maintain their unbeaten record in the 2018 America's Rugby Championship and record their 4th win over Chile. We're going to take a short break and come back for analysis and interviews and halftime and highlights. Stay with us. It's the United States 45, Chile 13, full time.
Fans, please be sure to drive home safely and thanks for coming out to Texas Titans Stadium.
Live from Estadio Domingo Burgueño in Maldonado, Uruguay. We're at the midpoint of this America's Rugby Championship of 2018 as number 2 on the table, Uruguay, take on number 3 placed Argentina 15.